Good taste is easy to spot, but hard to pin down. You know it when you see it. With your car, you want something sophisticated and daring, yet classic, approachable, but with an air of opulence. That's where the Range Rover Evoque comes in. The Range Rover Evoque is charisma in motion, art and craft in equal measure. Its exterior is a quietly bold expression of Range Rover DNA with a floating roof, continuous waistline, and three-dimensional grille that give it a captivating character. Inside, you'll find a calm, minimalist cabin anchored by a tactile gear shifter where clean lines, sumptuous materials, and advanced technology come together. Make a statement in the Range Rover Evoque. This elegant SUV elevates every drive, offering a new dimension of refinement and luxury. Whether you prefer a modern aesthetic or a warmer, authentic appearance, the Evoque's interior can be tailored to your taste. Ready to experience sophisticated design and premium materials in motion? Explore the Range Rover Evoque at LandRoverUSA.com. This is Optimal Living Daily, the one illusion we cannot afford to believe in, by Dr. Kelly Flanagan of drkellyflanagan.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your personal narrator, reading to you every single day of the year, your daily dose of positivity. So with that, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. The one illusion we cannot afford to believe in, by Dr. Kelly Flanagan of drkellyflanagan.com. Quote, "We are here to awaken from our illusion of separateness." Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm on the 5th floor of a hotel in Pennsylvania waiting for an elevator to the lobby. It's July 4th, Independence Day in America. Early morning, and I'm leaving the hotel to find a cheaper breakfast. As I wait, I become aware of piped-in music overhead. I hear lyrics that remind me of my wife. Quote, "Fortune teller said I'd be free, and that's the day you came to me." End quote. I instantly reach for my phone, Google the lyrics, and the song title is the top result. I click out of Google, tap my Spotify app, search for the song, and the song playing above my head is now coming out of my phone. I enjoy the dopamine rush of immediate gratification, and I marvel at the convenience of technology. But mostly, I revel in my apparent self-sufficiency. 20 years ago, I would have required the help of a number of people to identify the song, find a music store, and purchase the CD. Now, I interact with no one. Now I can completely ignore how interdependent all of us are. The illusion of independence. The truth is, even though I felt like I found my song independently, I was dependent upon thousands of people, perhaps even millions, to make it possible. The device itself was created by people we'd all prefer to not think about, people working for low wages in horrible conditions half a world away. I charged the device in the hotel room, drawing on a power grid created and maintained by thousands of other people. If all those people decided to quit and go home, the power goes out, and suddenly I don't feel so independent. Another team of people is responsible for the data service I use to stream the song. The apps I used were created by a team of people and are maintained by another team of people, but I don't see them, and I don't hear them, and I don't touch them. I don't look them in the eye, I don't talk to them, I don't shake their hand. I don't have a chance to say thank you, so I feel like I've done it all on my own. I feel independent. What I feel is an illusion. I listen to my new song in the elevator on the way down. I step out into the lobby and look up. I see families surrounded by luggage, waiting on one thing or another before loading up the car and departing. I count 34 people, mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and elderly couples and young businessmen and women, and 27 of them are staring downward at a device. 27 out of 34. A lobby full of people with each other and yet pretending to be independent, entertaining themselves, solving their own problems. A lobby full of people on devices that make us feel like a world unto ourselves, self-sufficient, autonomous, and free of each other. The illusion of independence on Independence Day. The freedom of interdependence. The lobby full of device-gazing people is deeply interconnected whether they recognize it or not. They're connected at an atomic level. The atoms one person breathes out are breathed in by someone else, and a shock of static electricity will transfer electrons from one person to another. They're connected at an emotional level. When one person is cruel to another, the cruelty is taken in and eventually passed on to another human being. And they're connected at a spiritual level. Their imagined independence is adding slowly to a collective sense of loneliness and disconnection that is, I think, reaching a tipping point. Yet we continue to swallow the illusion of independence. We believe a rebellion in the Ukraine has nothing to do with us until one day a plane full of people flying to their summer vacation is shot down and a surface-to-air missile confronts all of us with our interconnectedness. Why do we always wait on tragedy to remind us of our interdependence? We don't have to wait. Fortune teller said I'd be free, and that's the day you came to me. Mysteriously, when someone comes to us and joins us in relationship and we lose some of our independence, we gain freedom. Freedom, paradoxically, always happens in connection to another, because freedom isn't about being independent. Freedom is about learning to dance the dance of both our independence and our interdependence at the same time. Freedom is about finding the balance between the small me and a bigger we. In relationship to each other, we learn to embrace the reality and the sacredness of our interdependence while also respecting each other as independent, unique souls. We learn this in romance and friendship and marriage and family. In fact, any place where two or more are gathered can become a space in which we touch our independence and our interdependence at the same time. Any place, including a hotel lobby. The human dance. I leave the hotel, find cheap smoothies for my family, and then return. The lobby is emptier, but all heads are still bowed. The illusion believed. Interdependence ignored. I get on the elevator, and just before the doors close, a young boy gets in. I'm tempted to look straight ahead, to pretend we're both independent. Instead, I look down and I ask him where he's from and where he's going. His mouth and his eyes both smile as if he's been dying for someone to look at him. And he tells me. And then he does this surprising thing. This little kid asks me the same question, and I tell him. And suddenly we feel less like strangers, less like an adult and kid separated by decades, and more like two human beings acknowledging the reality of our interdependence. Two human beings doing the human dance. You just listened to the post titled, "The One Illusion We Cannot Afford to Believe In" by Dr. Kelly Flanagan of drkellyflanagan.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. Everything from our watches to our light bulbs is getting smarter. Isn't it time your e-commerce business caught up? Enter ShipStation, the game-changing solution that's revolutionizing how businesses handle shipping. As someone who's experienced the power of ShipStation firsthand, I can't overstate how transformative it's been for my operations. The ability to manage orders from over 180 platforms in one dashboard is a lifesaver. But what really blew me away was the automation. With a click, I'm printing shipping labels and saving hours of manual work. And let's talk about those carrier discounts. We're talking up to 89% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates. It's like having a secret weapon in the competitive world of e-commerce. ShipStation isn't just about saving money, though. It's about scaling smart. You can boost efficiency, all while bringing your costs down. Lead your e-commerce business into a smarter future with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to ShipStation.com and use code OLD to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, code OLD.
This episode is brought to you by Jira. Jira is the only project management tool you need to plan and track work across any team. So if you're a team of developers, Jira better connects you with teams like marketing and design, so you have all the information you need in one place. Plus, their AI helps you knock out the small stuff so you can focus on delivering your best work. Get started on your next big idea today in Jira.
Thinking of Dr. Flanagan, I could definitely relate when he said that if the power goes out, suddenly I don't feel so independent. The power has gone out here a couple of times recently. It's amazing how little we can do or think we can do without it, especially when it's nighttime or dark, but not yet bedtime. It's like we're just sitting there in the dark wondering what to do now, especially if our phone is on low battery. Anxiety can kick in. And when you talked about people staring at their phones, it reminded me of something even more scary. I was talking to my business partner, and this idea of staring at screens constantly came up. He was telling me about or maybe it was a friend of his, I can't remember now. They were next to a main road and could see people driving by, one by one. And nearly all of them had their phone in hand and was looking at that, often looking down at their phones while driving. It's a scary thing. It's one thing to be doing it in a hotel lobby, but who knows if a kid crosses the road or an animal or there's a big tire in the road, anything can happen. And it really is frightening that this is the world we live in. It's a little sidetrack from the point of this article, but I think it is true. We're all connected, even if we're in our own little bubbles, inside a car or not. So a nice one to think about today. Thank you for being here. I've only been able to keep doing this with you coming back to listen and sharing the show with others. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.